Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to my channel, Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over at Patreon, thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Your subscriptions mean the world to me. If you're interested in subscribing over at Patreon, you go to patreon.com, look up Engelgeist, and you will find my channel there. If you subscribe over there, even at the lowest level of $3.33 a month, you get the daily forecast a day early. So these are pre-taped a day beforehand, so that's available to you. There's also other levels of subscription over there. And it's a great way to support the channel if you'd like. You can also just like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that, either at the Facebook business page or on the YouTube channel. All of that helps the channel greatly. I do have Amazon affiliate links for any of the decks that I use. If you purchase them through those links via Amazon, Amazon will give me a small percentage of the sale. That's another way that supports the channel. And what else? Follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333, although I'm not a huge Instagrammer, but it's another way to support me, get in touch with me, that sort of thing. And last but definitely not least, just booking a private reading. Those are always available. They're usually an hour-long, payable via PayPal. Any questions you may have, you would just need to contact me at the business page of Facebook, and I can answer those questions for you. So these are always timeless messages, just so you know. I always ask Spirit to come in and join me and help me to create a message that's for the greater collective, for the highest and greatest good. So I believe that those messages sort of never go out of style, you know, not like, I'm thinking of that Taylor Swift song, Out of Style, or is that song Style? We never go out of style. Anyways, these timeless messages are exactly that. They're supposed to be for your highest and greatest good, right? So they're there to kind of lift you up, give you inspiration, validation, hopefully resonate with you at whatever point in time you're seeing it. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 15th of May, right? So, but this is for my regular viewers for the 15th of May, just to kind of build upon the energy that we've been looking at all week, sort of seeing what we're dealing with, what we want to maybe change, focus on, pivot around, whatever. So let's just see what's going on for Friday the 15th. Can't believe we're already halfway through the month of May. Feels like it just started. Alright, so we have the Ten of Wands. And we had that Ouroboros card. I don't know why, but I don't get a good feeling from this card the minute I look at it. Tends usually represent completions of cycles, right? In normal tarot. And I have to say, this deck in and of itself is challenging to me. There's a lot of water imagery throughout this entire deck. It doesn't matter what suit it is. And the water always takes me to this place of the emotions, right? And it feels like some of us, when I look at this card, it sort of feels like there's some of us that have been through a lot. We know we've been through a lot. We may be very tired. That cross behind him makes me feel like a little foreboding in a strange sense. Like I almost feel like he is giving up in a weird way. I may need to read the definition of this card because I want to know what they're trying to convey with this imagery. To me, I feel like we have the moon and the sun, which these feel in balance to me, which is a good thing, right? But I feel like it's maybe been many moons and many suns for him. He seems beleaguered. He seems tired. He seems like he's almost ready to crawl up on the cross and just die. And like, I don't want to say that some of us might be ready to throw in the towel on a certain situation, or we might be, I get a sense of sort of sadness, heaviness, a sort of sense of depression, and that's not necessarily the Ten of Wands meaning, but with this card, that's kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like On Sunday, we saw that Seven of Swords energy, right? That was swirling above that man's head with the cup and the fire. And I was saying, like, hold on to the idea, keep those ideas going and moving and changing. And then we saw that Ouroboros card for the end of the week, which this would be the beginning of that end of the week energy. So I would say be mindful of being tired, be mindful of being beleaguered, be mindful of being frustrated, be mindful of giving up. I sort of feel like this gentleman is giving up in some way. And I hope that's not the case for you guys, because to me it almost feels like with the balance of that sun and moon above him, it feels like so much work has been put in, or so much energy, inspiration, and it's like I almost feel like he's not seeing all that he's been through. That would be like the mountain range behind him, right? The struggles. Like, to me, it feels like he's climbed all of those mountains. He's come so very far. He's even waded through his emotions, and at this point he's almost numb to all of it, or and that's sort of like the cross. I feel like is him kind of getting up on the cross and giving up. I'm gonna read the definition for this card because I just find this interesting, but that's sort of the message that I'm getting from this card, is that, and I don't think that that's necessarily what this card may say traditionally. Oh, maybe it is. The burdens of life are upon the seeker, who can be overwhelmed by the challenges and burdens placed upon them. They can only survive with courage and insight. They need to understand the true nature of being, otherwise they are overburdened with grief and worry. This card represents the shedding of the skin of illusion, rising above what appears to be dead. The figure now stands upon a coffin broken open by swordfish rising from the watery depths of the unconscious. It is through the piercing sword of the fish that the illusion of life and death breaks open to reveal truth. Through the broken coffin, the illusion of death is pierced, and the inner eye now sees the triumphant spirit rising, shedding his skin to be crowned by the risen spirit. There are depths to plummet and mountains to climb, all in service of finding one's way, reaching the goal, discerning the truth. In the distance, the sun and moon are balanced behind the golden peaks. Reason and intuition shall be needed to successfully accomplish this journey. Whoa, guys. In a reading it says, change is ahead, a move or journey towards what once seemed out of reach. Recovery of a precious item, a cherished dream, a mislaid plan, a secret is revealed. The hidden is made manifest. The goal is now in view, yet all can be attained only by learning to carry the burdens cast upon one. This does feel heavy, this card. It feels like okay, so I do feel like it's a turning point for some of us. I feel like some of us might be giving up and jumping up on that cross and just being like, leave me here to die. I know that sounds kind of awful or dramatic, but that's the sense that I'm getting from this card. It's almost like I feel like these swordfish are trying to talk me out of it. Like, they're like, no, come on, dude, you're almost there. And he's like, no, bitch, I'm tired. So I don't know if some of you guys are struggling more so than I think. I'm trying to think, what was yesterday's cards? Yesterday's cards was not bad, I don't remember. It was that Four of Swords, which was nice. And then we had the Sun card with the other deck. So to me, I think are we up for the challenge? Maybe today is just an off day for some of us, right? Maybe today is a day where we're just feeling it a little bit more than normal and it's feeling a little bit intense, but I do like that this is a 10, that it is a completion, right? I also sort of like the cross imagery from the standpoint of, like when Christ was crucified, he was then reborn, or he had risen from the dead. So this sort of has a phoenix to the flame kind of quality to me, where it's sort of like we might be dying on the vine or feel as though we're dying on the vine or giving up, but there's actually this opportunity to sort of maybe regain our strength in this pause or in this questioning that will help us to move forward, especially if we access our strength around it. And this would be spiritual strength, guys. This is the fire that burns deep within us, right? This is that wand's energy. This is not, mental or emotional. This is about like the fire that burns within. The quality of the sun and the moon to me feel like we're being backed. We're not alone. You know, they said like the energy of the sun, which we had the sun card yesterday. You know, he's definitely in the background today, but we have that sort of our intuition guiding us, and we have the energy of sort of the environment around us kind of powering us on. We may just be a little bit frustrated, a little bit tired today. We might wake up on the wrong side of the bed today. But we need to remember with each new day is, you know, sort of a new dawn, right? Some of us might struggle through this day a little bit, but I think that we're completing, this being the Ten of Wands, there's a completion of this cycle, there's a completion of this, hopefully, hopelessness or misery that we might be feeling, that we might be living in or struggling with. It's time to let that go. I also feel like those swordfish are down there to help you let it go. Like those to me feel like spirit, like come round going like, okay, give it to us, we'll take it, we'll swim off with it. That's sort of what I'm feeling like they're saying. I don't know if that's how swordfish sound, but that's my swordfish voice. I haven't had enough coffee this morning, guys, bear with me. They're like, do you want fries with that? It's like the drive-thru. And you know, I just want to say this too, it's okay to be tired sometimes. It's okay to give yourself rest. You know, this feels like a much needed spiritual rest that is happening. You know, sometimes we have to take that pause and potentially give up so that we can build the strength back up to continue on, is sort of what I'm feeling with this card. This may not apply to all of you, but I feel like this is applying to some of you. And the other thing I want to say too is this is about that Ouroboros card, right? It's like, what are we focusing on? Look at his head being faced to the ground. He's not necessarily seeing that sun and that moon. He may not be accessing or able to access those strengths within him because he's too busy focusing on what's below him, beneath him, pissing him off, tiring him out, not working in his favor. You know, he's focusing on that coffin that's below him, but it's funny, it's actually that coffin that's keeping him afloat. And he's maybe seeing it as a coffin versus as a, how do I want to say it? Like, to me, it's like the boat that he's on, right? All right, let me look at what this is. Look who's back. It's our friend Flo. So number 20, which is the flow card, this is all about sort of flowing with the energy, flowing with our feelings, flowing with what's going on. I feel like there's that big moon and intuition energy behind her head. I feel like this is spirit inviting themselves in if we give them permission to allow them to come in and play with us this week. This is that upper worlds card that we saw on Sunday. This is like the idea of, okay, if we're feeling tired today on the 15th, maybe we need to invite spirit in to help us, to heal us, to give us energy, to give us support. To invite our guides, our angels, our higher beings of light. Ask them for guidance, for signs, to let you know that you're not alone. And I feel like they will provide it to you. They will show you which way to go as long as we're paying attention. If we're too busy looking at the ground or through a smaller lens, right? Through a lens where we're only seeing the negative or we're only seeing what's not working, then that flow sort of gets cut off. And I feel like this flow card is here to show us that, or to remind us of that. Like, are we in the flow, or are we cutting it off through our thinking and where we're focusing our energy? Right? So, interesting. This is on, I'm not sure what stone this is. It's too dark to be malachite, and I don't think it's jade, but It's a green stone, which makes me think of the heart chakra, and it's Namaste, which is the God in you honors the God in me honors the God in you. It's similar to like a sort of a greeting, but yet also a gratitude in a way, I believe. It's a gratitude for those around us, and honoring those around us through the honoring of ourselves. Some of us might need to take a pause today. Some of us might need to take some time today to balance ourselves out and sort of rejuvenate ourselves in a way at a deep spiritual level. Give yourselves that time, give yourself that honor, that through this sort of idea of this Namaste stone, grounding in that idea that you are divine, that you are worthy, that you are loved, and getting into that flow, into that belief in your heart and emanating that from your heart. I also love how this green matches the green of his outfit. If you guys see that, to me, that looks like, it's funny, like we should be honoring ourselves as deserving and allowing that to flow today, because I feel like some of you are going to feel challenged today by that and need to be reminded of that. And it feels to me like Spirit in this card is here to kind of help us be reminded by that. But like, seriously, sit down, take 5 minutes, close your eyes, and invite them to come close. Invite them to guide you. Invite them to play in your world and give you hope, give you strength, give you whatever it is you feel like you may be lacking. I think that's your reading for today, guys. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And we'll tune in tomorrow to see where we're headed with all of this. But it is important we get this correct, because that Wheel of Fortune card is spinning in the midst of all of this. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see where this all carries out to by this week's end. All right, have a great day. I love you. Bye-bye.